I'm just like, you know,
What's that?
I'm just like, doing nothing.
Welcome to the rundown, y'all. What's going on?
What it do?
Man, you know, this another week, man. Another week. Another time to keep it going. You feeling good, man? Did you get a nap in or anything? Rag?
No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a rare off day, but you know what I'm saying? It's always good to relax.
It was your off day. Today was my
Yeah, you was working on projects and all that.
projects. It was crazy today. I didn't get to eat till 5 o'clock, till 5:30. Took the boys to get their hair cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw when you posted it. You said you survived.
Survived, though. We was in there for an hour. I got a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old in a confined space trying to get their hair cut one after the other. You know, they messed up dude's chessboard, kicking his little chess pieces all on the floor, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, but I survived, y'all. I survived. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's part for the course. So, and also, I just want to, you know, give a shout out to all the audio people that actually, you know what they're doing. If anybody, you know, the mics wasn't working, you know what I'm saying, like we wanted to the past week. You know what I'm saying? But we had some good content, I felt, and so I didn't want to just scrap it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? These mics are working now, so I'm glad we got that going. Yeah.
Oh, and you know, two things. First, I just want to, you know, give a shout out and prayers to the Nielsen family. You know, I posted one of my mentors, the president of the college that I attended, you know, got me in. Man, good dude. I have never seen a white person make white people so mad.
Oh, wow.
You know, and it didn't come from a place of trolling. I want to make you mad, but he really got people to like check themselves and check their ego and to see that they had underlying, you know, racist thoughts or prejudiced thoughts that they didn't even know they had. And a lot of times, especially in his classes, like we would have those deep conversations where it's like, why do we think like that? Or why do we judge people like that? Or why do we make these assumptions? You know, or why do we assume that, you know, black people act this way or live this way, and you don't know, you've never had a conversation. And I mean, I know some people used to get mad because he a lot of times in certain classes would say, oh, you know, Roche is one of the brightest people in the class. And I was the baby, and like I was the youngest person in there. You know, I was like the only black male my first year in the class. And we had 3 other black women that was in the class, but I was the only black male, you know, in the class. And then on top of that, I was young. You know, and so, you know, you go in 17, 18 and, you know, people looking at you, you know, so, you know, you kind of know and some of the questions and things people would say, and he just made it real comfortable. And he was just a really genuine, you know, good dude. And he was an older guy, wasn't young, but, man, prayers to the Nielsen family.
For sure.
And, you know, and then also, you know, this is the Tuesday after Mother's Day, and we didn't make a post for it, but man, shout out to all the moms out there. We salute you. Man, all them hours of labor, you know, that y'all gave. And if y'all saw, I put this video up on our Twitter page and our Instagram page and stuff like that. Yeah. But, man, all them hours of labor y'all had to do, you know, just carrying a child for 9 months, you know what I'm saying? Women who have gone through miscarriages and things of that nature and deal with it. Like no man can know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll never know the struggles that women have to deal with. And sometimes we kind of, we don't really think of that from an emotional, empathetic standpoint because we can't identify with it. So like if I can't walk in your shoes, like, you know, whatever, you know, like, you know what I always say, what you eat don't make me shit. Like that's our view of it. Like, you know, but we don't consider everything that they have to go through. And even the bond that a mother has with their children because they carried you all that time. So man, just salute, shout out to all the mothers, you know, especially Miss Mary Brown.
Yes.
Mrs. Mary Brown, Mrs. Teresa Ragland.
Yes.
You know, salute to y'all, especially, you know, our moms.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't be who we are without them. You know what I'm saying? Every awesome, amazing mother that we know, salute to y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all for all that y'all do. And if don't nobody else tell you that they love you,
We do, and we salute you, and we thankful for you.
Yeah.
Salute again.
Salute.
What we got?
Salute. We got the.
Oh, I'm sorry. JB, where can they find us at?
Where can they find us at? Hold on. I gotta start this again with this. Goodness. They can find us on. Hold on, we ran into something again. Let's work with me.
we having technical something.
Yeah. Technical. But you all can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Google Podcasts. You can find us on Stitcher, Amazon Music, and am I missing
Is it
one?
iHeart?
iHeartRadio.
Okay.
There we go. You can catch us on all those right there. So, please check us out. You kind of see what's going on with us. Like and subscribe and do all that. So let's see. Let's start out with this rundown, man.
All right, what we got?
This rundown. First up, we have some fuel shortages.
Yeah.
So fuel shortages crop up and Southeast gas prices climb after the pipeline hack. This is actually kind of hot off the presses for me. I'm not sure, you may know more than me, but I was out earlier. Sam's gas was all the way out toward Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So I knew something wasn't quite kind of going up. But anytime anything comes up like this, the fear comes. Everybody rushes to the supermarket, the stores to get paper towels, toilet paper, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of one of those things, man. So and you brought up an interesting point off camera too about fuel and the oil that's designated here for the nation and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that was back when we went to war after 9/11. But they said that the oil that we refine here, we had enough in reserve, not what they're constantly pumping, enough put away. That if we were to stop refining oil and stop importing oil, it would last 50 to 60 years. But they're still finding new oil wells in different places. Like, of course, Texas is always refining oil. You got Oklahoma and Wisconsin and places like that in the Midwest and West where they're always finding where oil is coming up and they're refining it and everything like that. And they're just storing it. All of the oil that we use is imported. So what happened to all the oil we got, from Iran and Iraq when we were over there, which has been about 20 years because they're just now pulling troops out, and of Afghanistan and stuff like that. What do we do with all the oil that we were getting from them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the oil that we were getting from Egypt, all the oil that we were getting from all of these other places, again, in storage. So they're talking about it's a shortage, but they don't want to use that surplus that we have that's just stored up.
Why do you think that is there? It makes it interesting. Like, yeah, man, that's rough. But it's just everything always seems to kind of work together. We get these $1,400 kind of checks, and then it's supposed to be another flood in the summer for I think child credit stuff, and then we're potentially getting more money. But then other stuff is going back up. I'm not sure if you saw too, the prices of houses is going up almost over 35,000 because the wood shortage, the lumber shortage is up to like 36,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're getting more, but let's say if you're in the housing market or you trying to sell the house, like you're going to be paying some, more and more G's to kind of get what you want. You know what I mean? So that's
control, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. So next on the rundown here, you brought to my attention here the South Carolina to observe Confederate Memorial Day. Talk to me.
Yeah, and that was actually that happened on the 10th, Monday, and this is a quote from 1862, Alexander Stephens, the vice president of the Confederacy. And so this is what, when people say that, oh, this is just heritage and tradition, it's not about that. This is what the Confederacy stood for. So you don't get it twisted. This is from the vice president of the Confederacy, Alexander Stephens, said, our new government is founded upon exactly the opposite idea. And the opposite idea being, the Constitution. Even in the Constitution, though, we were considered property. But it said it's the opposite of that. Its foundations are laid. Its cornerstone rests upon the great truth that the Negro is not equal to the white man, that slavery, subordination to the superior race is his natural and normal condition. This, our new government, is the first in the history of the world based upon this great physical, philosophical, and moral truth. So to think that the Confederate flags, the Confederacy is anything, it's not about being a Southern gentleman. It is based upon the ideology that anybody that is not a white man or the white race is inferior. And you got to keep in mind, and we've talked about this before, but even Hitler, when he wrote his book, his manifesto, Mein Kampf, a lot of his ideals came from the Jim Crow laws that the South had instituted after the Civil War. And so he used America as the template to, push what he was pushing in Nazi Germany. So again, it goes back to what we were talking about last week. This idea that America is not a racist country is asinine. It's not racist. Now we talking about it's certain individuals, and I agree with your point that you made last week. It's certain individuals. We went to every individual. No, it's not. But from the standpoint of the legislation, the laws that are passed, the things that go on, how we're constantly to look at the jails, look at how we're killed by police. It's obvious, redlining, gentrification, all of that stuff. Yeah. And so again, in 2021, it's okay to observe and remember racism, prejudice, bigotry, and not only that, the losers though.
Yeah,
like the Miami Heat lost the finals last year. I don't see nobody in Miami holding the parade, right? Because the Heat, got their ass kicked by the Lakers. I mean, they put up a good fight. Yeah, too many injuries. You know what I'm saying? But like, Michael Jordan's son, Jimmy Butler, like had that one game where he dropped 40 something. Yep. I want to say he had a triple double that game. He did. Yep. Killing. Yep. But you knew it was inevitable, like Thanos, like the snap, like it was over with. Yeah, it was over. Nobody celebrates the Heat. That Grizz team that made it to the Western Conference Finals that year, the grit and grind grit, nobody remembers them. Yeah, unfortunately. We don't throw parades for them because they lost to, who was it, the Spurs?
Spurs in the conference finals.
Yeah, because the Spurs, I want to say that I think the Spurs lost to the Heat in that finals. That's when Ray Allen hit that shot in the corner and beat, to beat the Spurs, and then they went on to win. But the conference finals was the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Right. We don't throw parades for them because they lost. But yet and still, it's okay to remember, and not only the losers of a war, but the losers of a war to divide the country, the losers of a war that was based on one side really wanting to hold on to the racial suppression ideas. And yet people say that it's just ridiculous. It's not about that. But you just heard, you can look it up. As our boy 316 would say, Google it. It's Googleable.
Google it.
That's from the vice president of the Confederacy mouth, Alexander Stephens. So, what you think about it,
man? What you say? Like more the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like par for the course. In South Carolina, most of the stuff that you hear like this, unfortunately, it's down in the South. You know what I'm saying? We don't hear stuff like that in, like the northern states of Michigan or stuff like that, to where things are more, I don't want to say modern, but just a more upgraded thought process of these things. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think recently, last year, they just in NASCAR, they banned the Confederate flag. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, but it took a while. It took a lot of public pressing. You know what I'm saying? I think other professional athletes got into it as far as, this needs to happen, but if it wasn't for that, like stuff like this in South Carolina, like it can take us to say something about it, like, but people like, like a LeBron James or, people of that nature, they can get it done like this. If we do it, we could probably get it done, but it may take a couple years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, stuff like this needs to be obliterated, kind of from the system, because I don't see any need for it.
Dude, and I agree with that, but I think to the point that you was making, like, you don't see it up north. Godfrey made a point where he was saying that, like, to all the black people that think, because he lives in New York now, he's from Chicago, but he said, like, oh, he said, y'all niggas up north got it twisted. Y'all think that it don't exist. He's like, no, it exists. He's like, white people can't be like that there because it's so many people of so many different races. And if you try to do that on the street, he said, you can get your ass kicked.
Right.
And you ain't got nobody to help you because it's so many people of, you know what I'm saying, other like, so the other white folks ain't finna jump in, but down here we see it because, you know what I'm saying, not only is the law on the side, but depending on what neighborhood you in, you know what I'm saying, like, think about it. If we have a ride here, where are they gonna ride at? North Memphis, South Memphis, the Mound, Douglas, Smoky City, New Chicago, Westwood. Ain't nobody gonna be riding in Germantown.
Right.
Try it. Yeah. All these, and it trips me out. And I love my black people, but all my black people are, we ready for a revolution. But try that shit in Germantown and see what happens.
Oh no.
And you're gonna be back, because I ain't gonna be with your dumb ass.
Nah, it's not.
Try it in Collierville. Try it in Bartlett.
Nah, the other day I think I put a post up. I was just like, I just hate see my people. I was out 10 o'clock making a late run. Wifey wanted something. We were getting something, and just, you see, it was a couple of black people in the car. The headlights was out, riding on Stage Road. You know what I'm saying? Just, just actually, and they were speeding too. You know what I'm saying? So not even the lights was out, they were speeding. So I'm just like, bruh, soon as May, whoop whoop, 2 car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not. You can't do that. You can do that all around. Yeah.
Now again, if it had been on Austin P.
Yeah, Austin P, you good.
You might wouldn't have seen nobody. You might would have been able to make it all the way from where Walmart is and the hospital and the Pizza Hut down there. You'd have made it all the way to the expressway.
Yep. Going 60.
And maybe not would have gotten stopped.
Nope. But don't. People, it's a real thing, man. You can't,
man. But as soon as you pass Craigmont and bust that left,
it's a wrap.
On stage when you pass where that little it's the car is some body shop or whatever is over there. Yeah. It used to be the little Army depot. You know what I'm saying? The Army surplus store was right there. Soon as you pass that junk, it's over with.
It's a wrap.
Try it.
It's a wrap. You don't want to do that,
man. You won't even make it up to Andy B's.
Nah,
and that's like what, a mile maybe?
If that.
From that body shop to Andy B's is like maybe a mile, mile and a half.
Yeah, it's about a mile. It's about a mile. So you just, it's certain things you ain't gonna, you ain't that frogger. You ain't gonna jump. You ain't gonna jump on that. So let's go to this next one, man. This one actually goes back to another rundown topic that we actually had when we were talking about when the Senate was passing the Asian hate bill crime. You know what I'm saying? Now, you remember all those shootings in Atlanta,
right?
You know what I'm saying? The suspect in that Atlanta area spy shootings, they're getting indicted, you know what I'm saying, for hate crime charges,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So,
which holds a weightier sentence.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hate crime, like, and this all falls back to what the Senate passed a week or two ago and put it into legislation. Until now, if stuff happens like this, now you're gonna think twice before you try to even think about harming the Asian. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's federal. It's a hate crime. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, look at this stuff and weigh it with each other. You know what I'm saying? Us as, black people, shouldn't we probably have an executive order or something about any type of
when you look at it, like, even with all this stuff, which Derek Chauvin, by the way, is appealing the verdict. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
saw that. I saw that.
And so it's a chance he can still. We rejoice, but it's a chance that he could get off or get a lesser sentence.
He is, though.
But so and y'all hear us say a lot of times legislation versus representation, and so you don't get it twisted, and so y'all don't think that we're talking ignorant. We understand that this country was founded off of taxation without representation, and what that meant is that we were taxed. This country was taxed by Great Britain, but we did not have anybody in Parliament to argue on our behalf or to say the things that we wanted that were important to us as a country. Yeah. And so the taxes were unfair. And so it's like we're being taxed, but we don't have a voice within the Parliament, and y'all are making decisions and y'all are not over here. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to adhere to y'all's laws, but y'all thousands of miles across the pond, you know, and that's what they were arguing about. And so in that instance, it was good to have somebody around speaking on your behalf. But as this country was founded, it became very clear that it can't just be somebody up representing the people. You have to have laws in place, which is legislation. It can't just be a body. You have to have laws and executive orders and bills passed to protect the people and to meet the needs of said people. And then when things are not fair or unfair, they get amended because several amendments have been amended.
Right.
And so when we talk about this legislation versus representation, don't get it twisted. It's good to have somebody there on our behalf in theory, but the legislation is not enough laws or executive orders that benefit or protect us.
And another thing is, to me, when I look at it, we know people grew up that ran for office in the city council and stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's always been more of just that office. Like, oh, so-and-so in our family, he's over here in this office. He's doing, you know, he's there. You know, you're a part of that family. Like, but it's never like, okay, what did you actually do? What did you stand up for that maybe it wasn't popular to do so, but you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I think that we rather get in office to be like, okay, we held this position. Oh, look at him. He's the head of so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? I can aspire to be that. But it's no longer, I want to aspire to be that. We need to get the job done. We need to do something while we're in there. You know what I'm saying? I think we're past that. Like maybe 20, 25 years ago, it was cool that, okay, we got Willie Harrington, you know what I'm saying, in office. You know what I'm saying? One of us, Slick Willie. You know what I'm saying?
Get the hell out of my office.
Right. That was cool, but now it's like, okay, we did that. Now we're past that. Okay, you're in office, but what did you do to actually, you know what I'm saying, move us forward or to get us what we've been so dyingly trying to get? You know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, going back to this spot shooting stuff, like this is a prime example of Senate passing, something happens, it's done. You know what I'm saying?
Which it should be. We're not arguing. We're not disagreeing.
Right.
But go ahead. I was just throwing it at you.
No, it's, you know, it's that's the way it should be. But it's like we have to, you know, scream tooth and nail to really, you know what I'm saying, try to get something done. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, come on, bro.
And you know what's messed up? We have been screaming tooth and nail.
Yeah.
And yet and still, and again, we stay buying the wolf tickets. Moneybag Joe, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Woof woof.
You summed up the black experience and what it is to be black in America. And let's not get stupid. You know what I'm saying? My melanated brothers, and I ain't black. Okay, whatever, nigga. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah.
So you've summed up the experience to be black in America on whether or not I vote for you. As if when I drive in my car, I don't know what I look like when I'm driving through Bartlett and then going to work in Collierville. Like I don't know what I look like when I'm jumping out the mail truck with somebody packaging, you know, all they see is this black face walking up to the door. You know what I'm saying? And I got something for you. I got your stuff and you clutching your purse. And sometimes I just want to be like, Fuck your package. You can come pick it up at the station.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't even keep your racist ass dogs in the house. You got like that junk foaming at the mouth like Cujo. Oh, he's just no, he ain't friendly. There ain't none of my friends do that.
Nah, I ain't falling for that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so, we know when you look in the mirror.
Mm.
Now when I see it, I see greatness. But at the same time, like, we know what we look like.
Yeah. But
you summed up my experience. If I don't vote for you. But again, I asked, what have you done for me lately?
But everybody drinks that Kool-Aid. Like, I've been in Facebook debates over the years, and I've been called a coon and everything else because I said I wasn't voting Democrat. You know what I'm saying? And so he's just pretty much repeating what everybody else, has been, doing for years. And so, Yeah, now
see, when I called you a coon, it wasn't for that. I called you a coon because you steal. And so, no, I'm just playing. He's not, no, he's not a thief.
No, it's been years. It's been years. But so yeah, let's continue to change gears on this next rundown topic here. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Rag. Warriors guard Damion Lee. He got the COVID-19, but he got COVID-19, but he was fully vaccinated over a month. Then he tested positive. Now, from my understanding is, this is what they told him at least. This is one of those breakthrough rare cases to where this happened. I think they summed it up as being maybe only 6,000 people that actually had this rare breakthrough case or something. But I just thought it was just interesting because, this is the first I've heard of one. Just, maybe maybe get COVID or something. Let's say you took it in, maybe a couple weeks or maybe that week or something, maybe tested positive. But he was well over a month going into the second month of being vaccinated, and he still, got COVID. So I just thought that was an interesting point, right?
Yeah, and so I'm reading the definition of a vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity to a particular infectious disease.
Yep.
So if I'm not immune to whatever it is after I get said vaccine, I'm not taking a vaccine. I don't mind people getting the shot.
Yeah.
I argue that it's not really a vaccine.
Right. And that's what
you see what I'm saying? Right. And they say, I got vaccinated. No, you didn't.
Right.
Because if you got vaccinated, you wouldn't need a mask anymore.
You got shot up.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to worry about who wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, and you're old enough to remember being a kid, and when we got chicken pox,
yep,
our parents would make us play with our brother or sister or cousin,
right,
who had the chicken pox, so we would catch it. But after you got it, you could be around, and if you remember, like when you had chicken pox, you couldn't go to school for like 2 weeks because they didn't want none of the other kids to, get like, unless they parents wanted, you couldn't. You had to stay out.
Yeah,
there's a lot of oatmeal baths and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But after you got it, somebody else could have chicken pox. Your folks like, oh, it's cool.
Right.
Oh, he already got it. He had his 2 years ago.
Right.
You knew your body produced the necessary antibodies to where that wasn't a threat anymore. We all had to get the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. You can kiss mumps. You'll never get it. You've been vaccinated.
Right.
Polio, smallpox. You can lay in the bed with smallpox. You're not going to get smallpox.
Yeah.
So, like that, to say it's a vaccine, it's not a vaccine.
Yep.
And that's all I'm saying. So we're talking about shot, but go ahead.
Right.
I'm not surprised, but
yeah. Me either. I just thought it was an interesting point since I want to keep, if we can, to update on certain other topics that we've talked about in previous rundowns and stuff like that. Like, and this is an interesting case because this guy, actually the basketball player, NBA player, got COVID, after being fully vaccinated, for almost 2 months. So continue to go. This is an interesting one here, Rag. Tim Tebow, he gets another shot in the NFL as a tight end. Now, me personally, like we always say, as you always say on here, context matters. You know what I'm saying? When dealing with, really anything. And so Tim Tebow getting another shot in the NFL, to me, is not a big deal just simply because of the team that he's potentially going to be playing for. You know what I'm saying? That's the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is his former college coach, Urban Meyer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Urban Meyer is trying to create a culture, being this is his first year coaching in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to have some familiar faces and familiar people to help him create something that he's trying to build down there in Jacksonville. So who better to do that than to have Tim Tebow, and let's say he doesn't even make the team as a tight end. He's in your locker room, you know what I'm saying, and can have that effect on the number one pick you just picked. You know what I'm saying? Trevor Lawrence, I think his name is. Yeah, his quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He can have, just not. I think a lot of people are thinking about him on the field being this great tight end, but I don't think that's the end game. I think the end game is for him to be around these young guys. You know what I'm saying? Help them in any type of way that he can. You know what I'm saying? And roll. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think him getting a shot, because I've seen a lot of NFL players throw shots at him on Twitter. NBA players talk about, Kaepernick should have got a. Right. But that's context, though. I'm not saying it was right for Cap, but I'm just saying, look at the context, though. This is not even the same. It's, to me, is apples and oranges to a sense, because this is a perfect situation for him. This is his coach. I think maybe Urban is the GM too, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has pool, and so I'm like, I'm not mad at Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was talking to my boy McDade the other day, just like we need more black owners in the NFL just so we can do the same thing the white folks been doing for years. Like, right. Let's hire our friends, our cousins, our people. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't mad at them for doing that, because that's what they should do. That's what we do. Like Michael Jordan for the Charlotte Hornets, he hired his boy Rod Higgins. He used to play with the Bulls back in the day. That's his homeboy. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying,
like a lot of the coaches, the assistant coaches that he's hired, or either they're former Bulls players or former North Carolina players.
Right. And that's,
you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, how come he didn't hire this black? But like, no, he put Pat Ewing on.
Yep, he did.
For a minute. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of his friends. Yeah, that was one of his friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of the people that he played at North Carolina with, like he put on. I don't have an issue with it, with him being back in the league. Like, look, if this man was what a lot of quarterbacks are now, mobile quarterbacks. Now, was he as accurate as some of them? No. Nah. But he was a winner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want the sexy stat, and he didn't have a lot of them. But in Big Tebow time was real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when he beat, I believe it was Pittsburgh in that playoff game, it wasn't with his legs. No. It was with his arm.
With that pass to Demarcus.
On point. Yeah, Thomas. On point. Yeah. Man, right down the middle. Yeah. Threw a laser right to him. It is like he had a clutch gene. Do I think he would have been a Hall of Famer? No. Do I think he would have been an all-time great? No. But did he belong? Definitely. Yeah. But then got out the game for a few years, went and played baseball. Yep, he did. And then people's like, oh, he sucked. You got to remember, it's baseball players who play from Pee-wee to high school to college to double and triple A and never make it to the show. Yeah. This dude stopped playing for like 10, 11, 12 years and was able to make a major league roster.
Yeah. I think with the Mets.
Yeah, with the Mets. Yeah. So like, no, he was not slow, because there's people still in double and triple A trying to get in. And if he can make that transition to tight end, do I think he's going to be an all-time great in that? I mean, The jury's still out, but who knows? I mean, if he put up
plays, like
if he put up 6-7 years worth of good stats, it's possible. But at the same time, again, if he's got the talent to make the roster and they want to give him a shot, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. This is for a tight end position. So when the Kaepernick comparison, and I ride or die for Cap,
right?
But it's not apples and oranges. I mean, it's not even apples and apples. It's not even apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, he completely changed position. Mm-hmm. He was already a tank anyway.
Yeah.
But second of all, Cap didn't change positions. No. Cap didn't want to be a backup. Yeah. And I'm not knocking him for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But a team has to be willing to put their self on the line for that. You know what I'm saying? And should he have been given the opportunity? Yes, 100%. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different conversation.
It is.
This don't have nothing to do with Tim Tebow and his former coach, who he won 2 national championships.
My Florida Gators.
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean? And you know what I'm saying? But like his mentor and a homeboy and somebody, he's gonna be a good locker room guy. If he want to help him out, I don't see any problem with it. And as much ado about nothing, we making a big deal.
Right.
About.
Plus, I can see him being on the staff at some point later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I can see it just being
Right, this may be a big picture move.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I see it that way. So, shout out to Tim Tebow doing what he do, man. I hope he does good. Maybe do good enough for me to, draft him in my fantasy, maybe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, let's get with these quickies, dog.
Oh, yeah, when you ain't got much time, you got to get back to work. You ain't got nothing but 2 pumps and a swivel. You got to go and get it over with.
Yep.
It's quickie time.
It's time for the quickies. I wanted to give, we Memphis Tiger basketball fans, man. I wanted to give a shout out. Today, officially, the Lawsons signed with Memphis State basketball. What was that? Memphis State.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's Memphis State to me still. Memphis State basketball. The Chandler and Jonathan Lawson, 6'7", 6'8" guard forward. I think they're gonna do real good, man. I'm hoping they do good. My brother Rodney, he coached both of them when I was in middle school. Went to American Way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I've been hearing about them for kind of a while now. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Signing to the University of Memphis, Memphis State today.
Oh yeah, good. I mean, glad that they not. I know their brothers transferred out, but glad that they're not thinking like that. And They gonna hopefully make the city look good, and again, hopefully they trust the process. And I thought their brothers were good, and I still think that they have a chance to be in the NBA. But I'm hard on my family because I love my family. Yeah. But we got to stop having this overinflated opinion of ourselves, thinking that we come out of high school, All-American, like we ready to jump straight in the league. Yeah. Homegrown Memphis, we probably only had 2 or 3 guys that was legit. Yeah. I think Snap was one. Oh, yeah, Snap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Penny probably was one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But some of them other guys, you good, go to college and do your thing. But a lot of them guys that we grew up watching in high school, man. And you get to college and you just a guy. Yeah. And actually, Lorenzen was another one. Because Lorenzen Wright. Right. He was a man child of the BTW. I remember him in high school. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was dominating his first 2 years at Memphis State. But I think he could have potentially went from high school to pros. Not saying he I don't know. I think if he had went straight to the pros, because a lot of times it's the teams that you go to. Mm-hmm. Had he gone straight into it, he would have been like a lot of them dudes' careers got screwed up because they went to the wrong team. For sure. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're that potential, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to go to a good team. You're not going to be like a James Wiseman situation where, and that's why the Warriors wouldn't trade him. Because it's like, oh no, this dude going to be, big. But you look at a guy like Mo Bamba, you're playing behind an all-star. Right. And they're like, oh, he's a bust. And now that Vucevic is with the Bulls, it's like, oh, he can play. Right. He could always play. Yeah. He was just in a bad situation. Yeah. Playing behind another all-star. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, what people forget, Jahlil Okafor. You know what I'm saying? When he had a run where it's like, man, he putting up 20-something and 10, 12 rebounds, looking good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Before Embiid came in, you know, in all them injuries. And every once in a while, you'll see like when he healthy, it's like, oh dang, Okafor can play. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's your team, it's your situation. Lonzo, oh, he's horrible in LA. And then now it's like, oh, wait, he actually can play in New Orleans with, you know, Zion and Brandon. And so, but like I said, I just hope that these Memphis guys, man, we learn to trust the process. We go through the process. And if you're ready, because I hated for Adonis Thomas, I felt like he should have been one. Yeah. You know, he had the potential to be, right, you know, a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them guys I felt like could have been. But
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Salute.
What else we got?
Quickie. Iverson Classic was being held in Memphis this past weekend. Actually at Bartlett High School. Actually right up the street here. And Stack 5 and Matt Barnes were the coaches, man. I don't know if you've been up there to Bartlett before to see the new facility up there with the basketball gym. It's amazing. Like they did a good job. But I just want to say that the small goat Iverson was in town, Memphis, this past weekend to do the Iverson Classic. I think 30 of the best players were in town. You know what I'm saying? Number 1, number 2, and number 3 of the nation. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to do a quick, shout out to the Iverson Classic there, man. So next quickie here. I know you seen this the other day. Russell Westbrook is now the triple-double
record
king.
holder. Yep, he's holding the record.
You know what I'm saying? So I, give our salute to Russell Westbrook, man. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy. I think Russell Westbrook is a all-time great. Mm-hmm. He's not in my top 5 point guards of all time. Mm-hmm. I don't think he will be. Things could change. I guess he still has some time to play. But the triple doubles to me, they mean more when you're like getting triple doubles like Magic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you kind of dominating, winning.
No, I give you a better one. Like Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
Same height as Westbrook.
Yep.
But he was getting triple doubles and not just 10 rebounds, like 12, 14, 15 rebounds. And you got Zoe in the paint.
Yep.
You got Mutombo on the other team. Yep. You got David Robinson, Brad Doherty, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon. Rodman was still in his prime. Horace Grant, Shaq. Like he was battling with traditional big men who was getting 10, 12, 13, 14 rebounds a game. Right. Going with trees where you could get your head knocked off.
Not your small ball.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Whereas like, and I'm not downing because look, sure. 10, 12 rebounds is 10, 12 rebounds. Yeah. But if you watch sometimes how like, Steven Adams when he was with OKC is boxing out so he could get the rebound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I had an issue with that because I saw that a few times. Like it was more than a few times. It was like, I'm not gonna get the rebound, but he's so huge. It's like he can box out 3 people all at once, and it's like, okay, you got that. And
or he wasn't even playing defense. You're not D'ing up. You letting your man shoot. So if it's a long rebound, you're there to get it because you're not gonna D that man up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so,
but yeah, he, shout out to Russell Westbrook, the official triple double king.
But he is the king. King stay the king.
Oh yeah, for sure. So he get that. So, and the last quickie is. Want to give a salute to KG and Tim Duncan making the Hall of Fame this weekend. Arguably 1-2 in the power forward.
Right. And actually, they made it. I believe they made it last year, but they didn't have the ceremony because of the pandemic. And so their last year's class, and I believe it's Kobe. Them 2 and Kobe. Right.
And
it's Kobe.
Steve Nash in there. Yeah, Nash.
Okay, so so it's Kobe, Nash, Tim Duncan, and KG.
Yeah.
And so they're actually doing the ceremony this weekend. Mm-hmm. But and then because actually this year I want to say the finalists won't be announced till like the 14th. But the finalists have been announced, but the actual class won't be announced till the 14th. And then you got Paul Pierce in that one. Our boy, Pleasure P. Chris Bosh. Weber's up for it.
I really want Webb to get in.
Yeah, man. I do, but again,
he deserved it to me, man.
I think he will. I just think it'll be a while.
I think this is 6th time.
Yeah, I mean, he should have been. Yeah, he been out the league longer than 5 years.
Yeah,
but
man,
no, it's gonna happen. Like I said, I just believe it's a process. Because although he had a great career, he didn't have that box office pop. If that makes any sense.
Who? Well,
yeah, like because Sacramento was a fun team.
His game was fun,
but okay,
though.
so like when people would watch Philly,
yeah,
because Iverson was like a box office player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with you. I think
like you see what I'm saying? Like a Mitch Richmond wasn't necessarily like, well, now when you watched him, he was, but like when you look at his overall numbers during the time that he played, he was always like the second or third best at his position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it, like, yeah, Webb was cold, but then you look at like, okay, well, who was the fours?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So depending on which, so in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? He might have been top 10, you know, but he wasn't top 5. Then you get to the 2000s, it's like, well, would you put him over KG?
Yeah.
Would you put him over Tim Duncan?
Yeah, you know,
would you put him over Dirk?
Because
you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like at a certain point toward the tail end, because I would say even like when Bosh came in for Toronto, he came in and immediately was one of the top 4s in the league.
Yeah.
You know, by like his second or third year, he was one of the top 4s in the league. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that was at the tail end of Webber's career. So like I said, he might have had 1 year where he was a top 3 power forward, but for the most part for his whole career. So I think he will get in.
Right.
It's just a matter of time.
I guess I'm more biased because I was a big Webber fan because it was, you know, his passing and all that. But to your point, like you talk about KG and Tim ran it for, they were going back and forth doing MVPs. You know what I'm saying? KG and Duncan, and Webb was kind of like the third or fourth man kind of out. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't get as much pub as I thought maybe he should have. But I'm definitely rooting for him to get in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, no further delay, man. That's it for the rundown, man.
Keep it presidential.